All right, in this episode, we talk about going from max effort to low effort
without losing any velocity.
Porcio, Stephen Godani here at the @Top Velocity #Pitching Tips Show, where you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. If you like, @Top Velocity #Pitching Tips. Ask your question, we answered on the show. If you haven't already, go to topvelocity.net. Check out our 3X Velocity camps that are coming up. The best camp for performance enhancement and pitching velocity, injury prevention. Come down here and get better, guys. The camps, you get a 2-day orientation through the camp, through the programs, and a full evaluation, mobility, performance movements, biomechanics, and we take you through everything and we show you, customize how it's gonna help you and how to follow the program, which is a systematic approach, Monday through Fridays, cycles every 8 weeks, then goes off-season levels, preseason levels, in-season. It's everything you need. There's nothing out there really like that. Also too, we give you a week of 3X training. So if you want to do the 2-day camp and stay for the training, we highly recommend that, okay? And if you need a room, you can call Stephen Godani or at Stephen Godani. Hit him up on Twitter. All right, so let's look at the question for today. Cage Cascone asks, 3X taught me to push my body to an extreme. What's the best way to dial it down, pace yourself without losing power or mechanics? Really good question, Cage, and I think this is only for someone who's been through this program at least the 16 weeks. Or have gotten to the level of, you're really good at it. You've mastered it for yourself, almost. I don't think you truly master it. But you want to get to a point, because you're constantly working to a max in the program, in everything you do. You want to get to a point, specifically when you get into a good long season, where you can dial it back, and you can save it, conserve it, and use it strategically against hitters. And that's where you need to truly understand where the key points in the delivery where you turn it on and then the key points where you don't have to turn it on. So you learn that, you don't have to be so aggressive at certain points. You can be more conserving that energy, and then there's certain points where you want to put all that energy on. So it's really just efficiency, getting more efficient, and really more reps in the biomechanics. So if you look at how we do the off season, specifically with my pro guys, is we hit it hard in the beginning, and we progress up, we work to a good high max, and then when we get into the preseason, we start to dial it down, and we start to spend more time in the throws and spend more time in the biomechanics and make it more efficient, and we find where we use our energy and where we don't need to use our energy. So I think a lot of times coming out of the off season approach, you are very, very much maxed out at that point, and everything's a high effort. But as you get time through the preseason, that's when you should get more efficient and learn where to use and where not to use that energy. And I think that's really it. I think it becomes more a biomechanical strategy, Cage, than it is a just trying to attack at everything. You find efficiencies in your own movements and where you need more effort and where you need less, and you just try to find that perfect place to where you can conserve the most amount of energy but get the best results. And it's something to where you can't stop. Once you get that repetition going and you find it and you're there, then you really need to keep that routine going, specifically in your season, and find out. Also too, when you get to your season, you're not gonna be pushing it like you do in the off season. So, and then you're gonna find where, okay, I don't have to squat so heavy in season, because I can squat a little bit lighter and I can maintain. Tell you the truth, it's just gonna come with your history in this program. You're gonna know more about your body and when you need to really push it and when you don't need to push it in your training, in your performance, in your game. And then that's how you just get better at this process. So I think it's something, Cage, it's a good question. It's probably because you're learning that now, and it's something that really helps and shows that you're maturing as an athlete. And it shows too that you're becoming more of a professional, and that's how a professional would do it. professional will get to a level to where they really know where they need to push and where they don't, and where they're wasting time, where they're wasting energy, and where they're not. And that's just something that comes with the trade and with practice in the trade. But hey, Cage, we'd love for you to come back, man. Come back in here and train with us if you ever can. That's something that we can address when you're here. Also, too, you got David Ardsman you can reach out to. He's a great resource for those kind of questions. Great question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, just for the guys who don't know, who are watching, Cage is a guy who a 90-plus testimonial, who's one of the smaller guys. I don't know his exact height and body weight, but he's one of the smaller guys, so that's really, really impressive, and really kudos to him for how hard he worked. From the story that I've heard to how he got to 90 miles per hour, it's actually really impressive. So yeah, we would love it if you'd come back and train. I would love it if you come back and train. From what Brent's been telling me, we're about similar size. I think it would be really cool to push each other if you came back here. So we'd love to have you back, man.
Yeah, and Cage was a good story. And Cage is a guy who's probably been in contact with me and with the programs on the forums, comments on the videos for probably, tell me if I'm wrong, Cage, but probably about 3 years. So he hasn't stopped. He's been a machine with it, and that's what we know works. It's a great mentality to have, and something that those of you out there, if you really want to get everything out of this approach, is stay connected, guys. We've been talking to guys, we've worked with guys for 4 or 5 years, guys that have come in here, seniors in high school and stayed with us till they went off to indie ball or even, got drafted. And so the point is those are the guys that we know are the best examples. They're all pretty much testimonials, and that really is a recipe for success in this program if you can stay connected. Okay. All right. So good question, Cage. Thanks, man. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram @TopVelocity, #PitchingTips. Ask your question. We answered on the show. We're getting a lot of questions coming at us. We're going to try to keep up. Be patient if your question has been answered. It should be answered. If you notice we passed your question, ask it again, and we'll definitely answer it. We'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Hold on.